In this video, I'm going to show you the difference between the paradiddle and the perfect paradiddle, and for you experienced drummers, it's not quite what you think. Let's do it. Okay, so first things first. My name is Carlos Plaza. I run a nonprofit organization called Drumming for All, and I will tell you a little bit about that in a few minutes. So, if you're watching this video, it's for probably one of a couple reasons, but either way, you're a drummer, you either love the paradiddle and know it well, and you went, hey, wait a minute, why is he calling this the perfect paradiddle in the thumbnail? Or, you know, maybe you're just learning drums and you just know the paradiddle is important, and so you figured, hey, this guy's saying this is the perfect paradiddle, might as well watch this video. You're both going to be very happy. So first and foremost, the paradiddle is just a simple sticking pattern. Right, left, right, left, left. Now, even though there is an accent in the paradiddle, the way it's described by the National Association of Rudimentary Drummers, which I'll go into the history of that in a little bit, it really is just a sticking pattern. And the reason why the best way to think about just the paradiddle is just the sticking pattern is because it gets used a lot of different ways on the drums. It can get used in beats. It can get used across the drums as like a fill. So the accent, the importance of the accent goes away a little bit because it's just a pattern and it's just this back and forth kind of thing. So now let's get one step closer to that perfect paradiddle. So as you can see here, the paradiddle is represented as having an accent above it. So we're going from having just this pattern, right, left, left, to having an accent on the first note of each group. So again, as you can see here, the accent is what makes this paradiddle the way it is considered to be like the official version, according to the National Association of Rudimentary Drummers, which we'll talk maybe a little bit more about that in a minute. But in 1933, a group of Americans got together and said, okay, let's establish like 13 rudiments that you absolutely have to know these if you are going to be considered a proficient drummer. And indeed, if you want to join that association, you have to prove that you can play those 13 rudiments proficiently. The paradiddle was added in the second round. So they did 13 rudiments. A short time after that, they added another 13 to make it like the official 26, which lasted about 50 or 60 years of those being like the official NARD rudiments. And the paradiddle was added in that second round. So as you can see here, this is what the paradiddle looks like according to the National Association of Rudimentary Drummers, and there's that accent on the, so different ways to count it obviously, but here it's presented as 1 eanda, 2 eanda, so the accent is on the 1 and the 2. We are one step closer to what I consider to be the perfect paradiddle, and it's not what you see here because there's so much more to it. So again, maybe you're a beginner, maybe you're more advanced, and you're like, "Come on, get to the point, guy. What, you know, show me." It's not clickbait. This is for real, and I think this is good for any drummer. If you're a beginner, what I'm going to show you here, please, please, please stick to this like glue. If you are an intermediate player and you've already been doing the paradiddle, you're going to have a tougher time with this because you might have to reverse some bad habits. But same thing, what I'm going to show you, stick to this like glue. All right, so let me show you the perfect paradiddle, and then I'm going to explain each little step. We're going to get into the weeds here a little bit, so so strap in, but let's do this. This is absolutely worth it. I teach this to all of my students. The paradiddle is important, but the perfect paradiddle is even more important. Let's do it. So let me play the perfect paradiddle for you first so you can see what I'm talking about. That's one round of it, right? So here are the couple steps. Like I said, starts with a big dramatic position. Left hand low, right hand high, and notice my pinkies, okay? Tight pinkies. I tell my students all the time, tight pinky, loose wrist, or I'll say tight pinky, loose index as well. And it's all about, you are going to have like some decently tight grip on the front here, but I really want tight pinkies, and I want you like this. Not like this, right? Like this. very big and dramatic, right? Sit up nice and straight, chest up, right? And then it starts with that big accent, as you know, right? And then you kill the bounce, right? And let me show you with my left hand. Kill the bounce. Even if I only had these two fingers, you'll see it wobble a little bit, but I can still kill the bounce for the most part. It comes up a little bit, but it doesn't come all the way back up here. It's not this, right? Just with the pinky and the ring, and they do everything together, right? So, and then we get these fingers in so it doesn't wobble so much. You kill that bounce. That's key, okay? Kill that bounce. So, big accent, kill the bounce. Then, what I call the tap and pull. This is the molar upstroke, but like, you know, certainly the term upstroke doesn't like mean anything right out of the gate. If I say tap and pull, I'm telling you to tap the drum and then immediately pull the stick up, right? Tap and pull. Okay? It's not this, which is what a lot of people will do, is they start from up here. You're already in trouble from here. Tiniest little note. Look at the distance. Okay? Tap and pull. It came up a tiny little bit, right? Up a hair, and then a tap and pull. That's a ghost note, right? Your ghost notes are down here. If you don't know what a ghost note is, I'm a drum instructor. Reach out. First lesson's free. But I'm telling you right now, ghost note, very, very quiet note. It's written as a regular note, but with parentheses around it, as you can see here. So my perfect paradiddle, let me just throw this up here now. This is what I consider to be the perfect paradiddle. And it's accents and ghost notes, not accents and then regular notes. Big accent, kill the bounce, tap and pull, and then two ghost double strokes, okay? Now look at the position you're in. It's an exact mirror to the position you started in. And then you just have to redo it. Accent, tap and pull, double stroke. And then you do it again. Accent, tap and pull, double stroke. Accent, tap and pull, double stroke. Now, if you noticed, I went from being like really tight to kind of loose. Look at those fingers, kind of loosey-goosey. Okay? So fine, because when the stick starts to want to go faster, it wants to bounce more, your hand has to kind of free up a little bit to let it. You have to let the stick bounce. Like a basketball wants to bounce, you got to let it. If you just keep your hand there rigid, it's going to ricochet off your hand and fall. If you kind of go with the bounce and kind of accept the bounce and work with it, then now you're a basketball player, right? Big accent, tap and pull, double stroke. Accent, tap and pull, double stroke. And then as you get faster, notice the whip. I start to do this with the wrist. My tap and pull is not like a rigid wrist movement up. It's more of like a pull forward, and that elbow comes forward, right? Now, again, that's because of speed. At the beginning, if you're just starting to do this, if you're like totally fresh on the paradiddle, or you think your paradiddle is not great, or you didn't know what ghost notes were, or your paradiddle doesn't look anything like this, get really, really like rigid about it at first. That's it. That's the perfect paradiddle. And the reason why that's the perfect paradiddle is because you're actually moving towards proficiency with your hands. The tap and pull comes into effect all kinds of places. Ghost notes, quiet double stroke ghost notes come into play lots of places. So even though the paradiddle as written is just accent and a bunch of regular notes, I don't want you to think about it that way. I want you to think about it like accents and ghost notes. And that way you're being really dramatic about the difference between those two. Right? And that's a key thing too. I'll leave you here before I do my spiel about the Drumming for All program. A lot of students will do this. The other hand will come up without you really asking it to. It'll do this. And that left hand just kind of comes up magically. If you can do big accent on the right and just a ghost note on the left, not even tap and pull, just doing this, you're already, a step ahead. Because now both of your hands can do two different things at once. The reason why this happens is because the hands are totally interconnected in your brain. And the lame example I use with my students is like when you go to give somebody a double high five, you're not thinking about a left hand high five and a right hand high five at the same time. Your brain glues them together. You're doing this. It's one movement, even though it's two hands. Okay, so there's all kinds of wiring in there that have the hands totally like interconnected and thinking about each other. You have to cut all those wires basically. So they can do totally independent things. So if you can do this, you're made in the shade. And then it's that, and then you just have to do the tap and pull. Keep this one down, do your double stroke, and you're good to go. All right, guys, real quick, let me just interrupt here. Give me 30 seconds to tell you a little bit about the Drumming for All nonprofit that I am a part of. So basically, we offer drum lessons and equipment at no charge for kids around the world that can't afford them. We do have kids taking lessons online all around the world. And we are also focusing, we're based out of Pennsylvania, and we're focusing right now as well on the foster care system, trying to get drum lessons to kids in the foster care system that, as you can imagine, could use some smiles, right? So we bring them free drum lessons at no charge, and then the ones that actually like really want to take on the instrument, we get them set up with a teacher, and we get them equipment if we've got access to the equipment. Okay, so I will just leave it at that, but do me a favor. If that piques your interest even a little bit, maybe you don't want to donate yet, maybe you're going to think about it, you want to check out the website, fine. Do me a favor. Send a text to 610-200-9110. I'll automatically put you into the system. I will send you the occasional message about the program, give you updates, cool information about new students, pictures, videos, and then updates on raffle items and raffle winners. Just keep your ear to the ground, keep your ear to the kind of stuff that we're doing at the program, and then eventually if you decide, hey man, these guys deserve the donation, set it up. $5, $10, $20, whatever you want to do. All those links and everything for that is in the description. It'll take you to the website. And I'm very proud to say that the website, the URL that I use to promote the program is pretty great. If you love drums, go to drums.love. And it'll take you to drummingforall.com, but that's just that's slick. I can't deny that. All right, let's get back to the video. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, that'll do it. So let me just close things out with a couple thoughts here. As you saw, the paradiddle breaks down into 3 different categories. There's just the paradiddle pattern, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. There's the paradiddle according to the National Association of Rudimentary Drummers, which has the accent, or the 2 accents. And then there is the perfect paradiddle, which, as you guys saw, is a rabbit hole of a whole bunch of other information that cracks wide open what it really means to use sticks to play patterns on the drums, because it breaks it down into those basics, the tap and pull and everything like that. That's super important. And we talked a little bit about that. If you guys want to know more about that, or if you like the way I talk, like the way I teach, and you're interested in lessons, first lesson's always free. I do teach online. Send me an email. Email's down here. Excuse me. And yeah, shoot me an email. We'll talk. If you can't afford lessons, luckily, you know somebody who runs a program for drummers who can't afford lessons. So reach out and let me know, and we can absolutely help you out. So let's leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Peace.